welcome to my YouTube live. My name is Bola Harrison, and happy Sunday. um, Again, this is like the third live video I am making on the Migrating to Czech Republic series. And yes, in today's video or in today's live video, I'll be covering about four subheadings or four subtopic under the Migrating to Czech Republic as an international student. So because I've been getting a lot of questions and mails, and people have just been worried because a lot of students are supposed to have resumed since February and some since September 2023, but because of some challenges and some issues, they've not been able to resume. And most of these issues on why students have not been able to resume is tied around the same problem, getting appointment dates. And for those who already or who were those who were able to get appointment dates, the problem is getting their visas, and the delay is, it's, how do I say it? It's been challenging because coordinators are trying their possible best to make sure that their students get visa dates so they can resume, but the challenge is not from the coordinators and it's not from the school. So hence why I'm making this live video today. So in today's video, I would be, I want the video to be interactive. So if you have any questions, if you have any inquiries, you can ask. I will try to the best of my ability, to the best of my knowledge, to the best of my experience to answer the questions that will be coming in. But first, I would like to address some of these challenges on why students are yet to resume. The Czech Republic embassy is not in every country. How do I, yeah, it's not in every country. Like in Nigeria, we have one embassy. In Ghana, we have one embassy. And in India and Bangladesh, I think one embassy in India, one embassy in Bangladesh. And all of these embassies cater to numerous countries. Like the Nigerian embassy caters to Cameroon, Nigeria, which other country? Congo, Republic of Congo, and Democratic Republic of Congo. It's about 9 countries, and each of these countries or each of these embassies in this country, aside from the fact that they cater to various other countries, including the country where they are situated in, they have specific number of slots. So I don't know if I'm going too fast or if I'm jumping, but I have my notepad here and I'll try to take it one after the other. Please, if I'm not seeing your question, you can let me know. So I'm trying to, yeah, I'm trying to make sure I answer everybody today. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is visa appointments, which I already started on. For the visa appointment, you have to apply. It's not like the UK or other embassies where they have like an intermediary where you can apply for visas and then straightforward like that. For Czech Republic, everything is done by the Czech embassy by themselves. They don't have an intermediary, they don't have a middleman. So if you are going to apply for visa appointment, you have to send an email. There's an email on the embassy's website. So if you're applying from Ghana, Nigeria, India, or Bangladesh, they have specific emails for students, for employment visa, for long-term resident visa, and also for visiting visa. And then because I applied from Nigeria, so pardon me if I make reference to the Nigerian embassy more. Now, for the Nigerian embassy, they have an email for students, and they have a slot or a number of slots per month. Now, per month for the Nigerian embassy is about 10. So you have like 10 spaces or 10 slots for study visa. So imagine you have 9 countries using one embassy, and then you have just 10 slots. So this brings me to the next thing. When you're applying for visa, majority of you, some of you have your admission letter, but you don't have the original copies yet. Now, maybe you've gotten admission and you have an email. That's not the official admission letter. The one that is posted to you from the university, as in the hard copy that was sent via courier service, that is the official accepted admission letter that you would use to secure your visa appointment. So if you send your email on time, you have everything, but you did not attach the official copy the email will not, even though they give you a date, they will reverse it back. And the reason is because for Czech Republic, everything you do, I mean, literally everything has to be officially stamped. It has to bear a physical stamp. It has to bear a seal, if there is a seal, or most important thing, there must be a stamp. So if you are applying for visa with admission letter, the email version, just have your mind that it will not be accepted. So having said that, you are applying for visa, you have an email. Now for the, I'm going to mention one, I don't know if it's okay to mention it here because it has a flip side. There are two emails on the Czech embassy website for Nigeria for students at visa application. There are two emails there. One gets response faster than one, but I would not advise you generally to use it, though there are ways around it. But one gets response faster. But the flip side of that one is that, according to the students, one or two who have used it, you can't work when you get to Czech Republic, which of course you will still work. So that's why I said if you can find the email, because I've tried to locate the email, which I think I did at one point, and I put it on the Telegram group. But right now, I can't remember the email offhand. So there are two emails. You send the email on the 15th of every month. For Ghana, I don't know how many, what's the time duration as well, but I think also it's around a particular date, a particular time, 8 a.m. for Nigeria, also 8 a.m. for Ghana, but Ghana time. And I learned that Nigeria, they now use the Central European time. So now the second problem is that students still complain that even when they send their email at the exact time, which is the 8 a.m. benchmark, they still don't get a date. And I've answered majority of questions that for Czech Republic, it's not about if you sent the email at the exact time. The problem is that they have limited slots. So imagine 100 people or 50 students sending emails at the same time, 8 a.m. in the morning. They will have to, I don't know how the selection goes. Like, I don't work there. I should have said that. I don't work there, so I don't know how the selection goes. But you can imagine 50 students from maybe 15 universities fighting for 10 slots every month, and not from one country, but from 9 countries. That's for Nigeria. For Ghana, the embassy in Ghana, other countries attached to that embassy is Sierra Leone, Togo, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire. So you can also imagine. And I think Ghana they do their own bi-monthly, the slot are accumulated like that. So number one problem with Czech Republic is visa appointments. So as much as I would try to tell students to apply to Czech Republic because the process earlier was seemingly easy, right now it's getting more tough. And it's not just Czech Republic, because I think that the Schengen countries are trying to reduce the number of immigrants. I think so. So things are getting tougher. It's not like before where it was not so easy coming from African countries to European countries, but it was seemingly straightforward. But now it's not so anymore. Okay, so that's for visa appointments. The second problem is student mode. So you know how the school tells you that once you apply for admission and you do your super legalization, you can apply for student mode. Yes, but student mode is favorable for PhD students at first because they have a hierarchy. I call it a hierarchy. PhD student first, master student second, then bachelor students. So PhD students, even if they miss the appointment 10 times, I'm not saying, I've never seen it happen 10, but I've seen it happen 2, 3 times. So even if a PhD student should miss his or her appointment 3 times in the same month and goes back to his or her school to tell them that he or she missed the appointment, and we have 20 master students and 50 bachelor students waiting, the PhD student still get preference every time he or she goes back for reappointment. So the hierarchy starts from PhD students. Now, secondly is the master student. Now, the number of applicants from master student to PhD student, the ratio is master students are more than PhD students. But the problem is you have so many schools in Czech Republic, and you have so many students from African countries. And the problem again, like I said, comes back to the embassy. You have limited number of slots. Why they can't increase the slots, I have no idea. Because if you go to the embassy, the people that are, how do I say it? Like, you get interviewed, you see that you are people, they're interviewing like 3, 4 people in a day, which they can do more if they want to. So, but that's not our problem. That's for the embassy to sort out. So the ratio to masters to PhD is not much. Bachelors to master is also not much. But the problem is student mode also, you have a waiting list. There's a waiting list. The coordinator can only send your name to the office that handles students mode, but the coordinator cannot fast track how soon you get a visa appointment date, because the visa appointment date does not come from the coordinator. The office that, the office that handles the student mode sends your name and everything to the Ministry of Interior in Czech Republic. So they go through the list, and that's why I always say for you to apply on time, because I've seen cases where students who started the admission process on time, they are like on the top of the list for student mode. Now, majority of you apply to schools in Prague. In Prague, there are a lot of students that want to go to Prague. Indians, Africans, people from other countries, there are a lot of them that want to go to Prague. So imagine having over, I can't even put a number to it, of students who wants to go to Prague and they're on the student mode. Though Indians are sorted out separately because of the embassy. So you're categorized according to embassy also every month. So student mode is not that you're on student mode, you will not get. Once you are placed on student mode, I always advise, also try the personal mode yourself. Though your school will tell you that once you are trying personally, don't tell them to put you on student mode, but don't do that. Don't tell your coordinator you want to be let off student mode because you are trying personally. Some of them will tell you bluntly, if you know you want to try your own, don't let them put you on student mode, but you should not do that because you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So student mode also does not guarantee you visa appointments. Now, I think the next thing is concerning visa appointment, student mode and personal booking. Where you select to study plays a role in your visa appointment. If you see the smaller universities or the ones that are in the remote cities, not Brno, not Prague, those ones, they have lesser number of students. Okay, you can imagine you have 3 Nigerian students applying to University of South Bohemia, and you have 20 Nigerian students applying to Mendel University. Of course, if the University of South Bohemia submits the names of students for student mode, there's possibility that a lot of students, the 3 students, maybe 2 out of the 3 will get appointments than those in Prague because of the volume each school is submitting. So the school matters. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is how to apply for this visa appointment. Some people just apply. I've seen people make mistake with the visa appointment, with how to book the visa appointment. There's an instruction on the website, a clear written instruction on how to send your email. So if you mistakenly send an email that is meant for the student's email, if you mistakenly send it to the employment email, it will not be accepted. That's one. There's a subject. The subject is your international passport and nothing else. Your international passport number or the passport number. You don't put subject, you don't put passport number, you don't write anything. The subject is just the passport number. You just put it there. That's one. 2, the body of the email. You're supposed to put your first name and your surname. Then what else? Sorry, just give me a minute. Okay. Your first name, your surname, your date of birth, your passport number again, your phone number, your email address, and then you attach your admission letter, the original copy carrying the official stamp from the dean or official copy of your admission letter, and the original copy of your passport data page. Now, again, you don't put anything more and nothing less. Everything should be in this email. The problem is also, like I said, it does not, if you submit it at 8 a.m. in the morning, it does not guarantee you get a date. But you also want to keep trying because you never can tell. So if you try this format and it's not working, for those in Nigeria, go through the website, find the second email. I don't know if it's okay to be saying this, but find the second email address for student booking. They said you can't work. but I've seen someone who is working with that. So the thing is just to get the appointment and leave Nigeria, leave your home country and get into Czech Republic. Everything and anything is possible. So there are two emails for student booking in Czech Republic on the website for the Nigerian embassy. As for the Czech embassy in Nigeria, look for it. Like I'm saying it, you would definitely see it. What separates the first one everybody use, the normal one they tell you to do, from the second one is, I think, a hyphen, like a hyphen or dash or something. That's what separates the both of them. So if you look at the both of them, you will see a difference between them. So you might want to try. You might want to try it. So if you think that you have the courage for that, you can try it. No problem. So that's how to apply. So the problem also is that after applying, previously, they don't really, they delay like maybe 60 days, 30 days. But I noticed something with this year's application, that for those who apply from January, that those who are supposed to study September this year, I realized that those who applied early, like January, February, March, April, they got their visa decision on time. Like within, I saw some of 2 weeks. Like my friend got hers within 2 weeks. I saw the one of 1 month. I saw the one of 3 weeks. I've seen 10 days. And then I realized that as the year begins to go further, the visa appointment was delaying. So you see the one of 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And recently I saw someone was 6 months waiting and got the visa. Now the causes of delay can vary. Your interview, if they ask you, do you know anyone in Europe? You know, when they say don't say you know somebody, people be like, it doesn't matter. It does matter. It does matter a lot. When they ask you, do you know anyone there? Rather than them to focus on the reason why you are there for that interview, they focus on the person whom you say you know. And that way, they won't ask you questions so much concerning your coming to Czech Republic. They begin to ask you questions. They want to determine if the reason why you want to come to Czech Republic is to reunite with the person whom you know in Czech Republic or in Europe. So I know that causes delay, because verification of the person whom you say you know, and they want to see the ties and every other thing. I'm not working there, but this is from, like, I'm trying to look at the causes from what I have seen so far. Now, another thing is proof of fund. Some of you start the proof of fund quite all right, and immediately after your interview, you remove all the money. So there is this assumption that Czech embassy don't verify your proof of fund from the bank. We are not certain, but over the how am I going to say it? Over the months I've been on this pathway, I have realized that if they do check, most cases they won't ask you to reprint, because for cases like Canada, if they check and the money is not there, they deny you. But for Czech Republic, they ask you to reprint. So when you do proof of fund with your money or it's not your money, and you go for the interview and you come back, I know we move with faith, fine, but don't remove all the money, because the Ministry of Interior can make any request from the embassy and the embassy has to call you back. So during your interview, if you have 3 million naira, you can take money out, but it should not be outrageous amount of money. So if you are doing proof of fund, if you want to do the proof of fund for 3 months, and you know that there's no certainty that you will even get the visa appointment date yet, you can extend it to 3 months and 2 weeks, or 3 months and maybe 3 weeks, or 1 week, or just 4 months to be safe. Or better still, there are times you want to do POF. If you do POF by you have an interview in July and you get a POF by June, there are ways you can run your POF. For Czech Republic, it doesn't have to start from day 1 to 90, like I always say. It doesn't have to be from January to March, 3 months, you go for your interview. No. You can put money. I've seen people put money 2 weeks before the interview or 3 weeks before, and they still get their visa. But leave the money there, because by the time you take the money out and the Ministry of Interior is sending a request for them to ask you to print your proof of fund, they are going to delay, because number one, they have to reach out to you. You have to go reprint and you have to bring it back. Now, if the money is shorter than what you brought the first time, it could be a problem, because they'll try to decide if the money is still going to be enough or if the money is not yours, because some people remove everything, like literally everything. Some people empty the account. So when you want to reprint, you have so much gap between the money, the time you refilled the account and all of that. Now, another thing is that can cause delays during your interview. If you answer any question that maybe it was not audible enough, or they feel your answer was just not satisfactory, the Ministry of Interior will ask the embassy to call you back for a second interview. In the process, instead of them to decide if they should give you the visa, then they have to decide to call you for a second interview. So you have like a whole gap there. Um, so that's another cause of delay. Another cause of delay for visa is getting in touch with your coordinator. Because for master student, I have noticed that. For PhD, not so much. I have not really noticed it. For master student, for bachelor student, I have noticed that the embassy calls the coordinator to confirm if the student is still allowed to resume. Now, the reason they are confirming is because the confirmation, I realize, comes when you are applying close to resumption period. If you are resuming in October and you go for your interview in September, there's high tendency the embassy has to verify from the coordinator, because sometimes there are delay. If the coordinator cannot be reached immediately, there is a delay. If your coordinator says you cannot resume, there's a problem. So all of these are the causes of delay. Reaching your coordinator, second interview for POF, second interview to clear some maybe miscommunication or misunderstanding in your during your interview. Now, the third one I have here is, some of you have asked if you can switch from visitor's visa to study visa. I have not seen any country where that's possible. I don't know. I'm not an immigration expert. But for Czech Republic, the problem is, because I remember when I came into Europe, I had a valid um, Belgian visa and resident permit. And I asked if I can, while my visa is still pending, since I had not gotten my passport back from Czech embassy, can I come into the country to enroll and come back to Belgium? And my coordinator said it's not possible. And it's not possible because, according to her, your admission letter carries your duration of resumption. It states you're supposed to resume from September 2022 to August 2023. So using another visa to come in to study in Czech Republic will not be allowed. One. Two is because you need a copy of your visa to register your presence in Czech Republic. So your visa has a visa number. It has like your name, your date of birth, and every other thing. That's your means of identification during your stay in Czech Republic. So you cannot switch from a visitor's visa to a student visa, because on the visa, you will see it there, study visa. And the duration will be there, your date of birth, everything. I don't know how a visitor's visa look like, but I know it's different. So universities in Czech Republic would not allow you to switch. So if peradventure you gain admission while you are on a visitor's visa in Czech Republic, or when you were outside there and you come as a student, as a visitor, the Ministry of Interior will not switch that visa for you. You have to go back to your home country where you hold a valid resident permit, or where you can apply for a study visa. Because even while I was here in Belgium and I asked if I can come to the Czech embassy to apply, I was told to go back to Nigeria. And that's the problem, that if you have the visa and for any reason you cannot resume before that visa expires, you want to reapply, in as much as you've not stepped foot into Czech Republic, you will go back outside to your home country or any other country where you hold a valid resident permit to apply. So you can't switch the visa. Don't allow any agent, because I've seen people tell me, agent told them that they can use the visitor's visa to come into Czech Republic and change it to study visa. The immigration office will not change it for you. The universities will not accept it for enrollment. So you are stuck. So if you gain admission and you allow an agent to take money from you to give you Czech visitor's visa, because I think that's a bit easy to get, you can't switch that visa. You can't switch to a work visa inside Czech Republic. You can't switch to a study visa inside Czech Republic. The country is just designed or structured in a way that they are the only ones that understand what they are doing. You can only follow the rules. You cannot think, they will not make an exception for you. And even if you go there, they don't even speak, majority of the Ministry of Interior, majority of their workers don't speak English. So how do you want to, even if you go with an interpreter, once they tell you no, the no is no. It's not something you can plead out. It's not something you can bend. They can bend the rules for you. They won't do anything. So the no is no. The rules is just for everybody, including them themselves and other people from every other country. So I think this is everything that I think people have been asking. So I'm going to see if I can check the live messages and see if there is anything. Okay. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I've been I've been seeing so much question that I've not been able to answer. Okay. Someone said I submit my Czech Republic employee card in Dubai, in UAE, Czech Republic embassy 7 months ago. I'm from India. Do you still have a chance for approval? Like I said, I'm only speaking from my own experience. I've seen people wait 6 months and not still get a visa. It's painful. And I've seen people wait 9 months and 7 months. Recently, the last one I saw, recently, the last one was someone waited 6 months plus and got the visa. And sometimes it's very, so I cannot tell you if you still have a chance or not. I honestly cannot say that. Um there's a question here, but I can't see it clearly. But I know it's saying something about delay, that you are waiting for approval for more than 2 months. Another thing I'm going to say is that tracking website has a problem. Maybe I'm the one that think it has a problem, but I still believe that that tracking website has a problem. Um, when I think my visa took 6 weeks, and there were people that we went together that theirs took 2 weeks. Most of the time, what I advise to do is, if you have someone who you met at the visa at the embassy, take their contact, get in touch with them. Always call to check if they've gotten theirs. And sometimes this check process, it takes 6 months, sometimes 90 days, sometimes 30 days, and sometimes 6 weeks. But the closer it gets to resumption, the longer it takes. If you are interviewed like in August and you're resuming in September, instead of it to, you would assume that commonsensically it should be faster, because they can see clearly that your resumption date is close. But for some reason, it's like the reverse is the case. For someone resuming in February, they will give him visa if he goes in August. And someone resuming in September, they won't give him or her visa when they clearly see that the resumption date is early. And I think also for this, for those of you that are still waiting, to your coordinator, send emails. Recently, I learned that a coordinator was able to get in touch with the Ministry of Interior for a student. So you might also want to try to reach out to your coordinators that you are waiting. And while you are waiting, confirm if the embassy has called them. I think the thing should be, send a mail to your coordinator to ask if the embassy from your home country has gotten in touch to them, to ask if you can resume. Once they say yes, then trust me, it means that your file is still, once they say the embassy has contacted them and they told the embassy you can resume, then I think from that point onward, it's not, the delay is not because of your file. The delay might just be for approval. Everything takes unnecessarily long time. If I don't even know if their English is correct. Everything in Czech Republic, about Czech Republic, even inside Czech Republic, it's unnecessarily long. Unnecessarily, because there are things that they can do, but they would not do it. So let me see if there's any other question here. Um okay, why visa approval takes long? We still don't know, because I went to discuss with my coordinator, the coordinator of my university, to ask. And I think it's because the coordinator, according to what she's saying, said it depends on the pop. I don't know if that's true. According to what she told me, it depends on the population of the um, number of students for that university in that city, because you have different Ministry of Interiors per city. So all the files are sent to that Ministry of Interior, because even here in Czech Republic, there are backlogs of students who are applying for resident permits. So the population is one thing, and maybe what did she say? Workers, the people working there at the Ministry of Interior, resolving those files or having to get back to the embassy back home in your home country. So the backlog of files, the population, those are the problems that are causing delay. Except that it's a personal issue, like your file has a problem, maybe proof of fund or inconsistency during your interview or miscommunication or something they need to clarify. Aside from that, but I have no idea why it takes so much time. I still have no idea why it takes so much time. Because even in Czech Republic, there are students who are waiting for resident permits, and we still have no idea why it takes so much time. So, um, if there is any other, um, I don't know if I'm audible enough. If everybody can hear me clearly, I hope I am, because I'm using the microphone, hoping that it's more clearer. Another thing I want to say is I'm still going. I think I always say this in every video. Reach out to your coordinators. Except for schools like CZU, when sometimes some departments say, some students say their coordinators in some departments don't respond to them. But I know there are some universities with very nice coordinators. Ask them if you can resume late. When I say late, I mean if you can resume in the second semester, like in February, which is the spring intake in February, even though your course is supposed to start in September. Ask them. Now I'm hearing that universities are no longer allowing students to join online from home, because one alternative after COVID was that students could join classes online, and it was an advantage because students who are still home waiting for visa decision could start online, and that way it shows the embassy that you are committed because you started your class online. So, um, okay, thank you, thank you. You can hear. Um, Okay, Joe, I'm so sorry. I've been extremely busy. School has resumed. I have a lot of duties to do currently this semester, and it's been very hectic. But I promise I'll reply the email. I'll reply the messages. I'll try to I'll try to reply as soon as I can. There's a Telegram group, and I do encourage people to join the Telegram group because there are people who gain admission. There are students from Ghana. There are students from Nigeria. There are students from, I don't know. I think I had one Indian message me one time. You can join the Telegram group. If you have any concerns, there are people who are doing the same process as you, and then that way they can shed more light on whatever you are doing. They can help you, they can tell you what to do. And whenever I'm online, if you reach out whenever I'm online, I can respond to the messages. And if I'm not online, there are people there who already are in Czech Republic as well. And then there are students who can have similar, maybe discussing with you similar issues, and then all of that. If you are yet to apply for visa appointments, or you are still applying, you've not gotten an appointment date, I will advise that you keep asking your coordinator every month. This brings me to another point. Some schools, some coordinators stop putting you on student mode, according to what I learned. After a while, they stop putting your name on the list. So every month, even though it's going to be like a nuisance or it's going to be like a disturbance, still keep asking them, hello, so so and so, am I still on the student mode? Did you nominate me this month? To be sure that they keep nominating you, because I learned that some of them assume that you've gotten personal appointments and you don't need them to put you on student mode again. Okay, this person says, um, okay, for POF, that's for the proof of fund. If you, right now, you are applying for visa appointment, and this is November, and you have to resume, say, in February, or maybe you're looking for an appointment. So if it were to be a sane process, like a straightforward process, I would say the moment you get your admission, put money in your account. But if the money does not belong to you, which means if you are using external agencies to fund your account, I won't advise you to put money in your account before you, too soon. That's like too soon means like immediately after admission. I will advise you to still wait. So let's say you resume in September, you go admission in maybe February, and you are hoping that you get appointments anytime from June, July, August. I will advise that you start from like July, because the money doesn't need to be in your account for exactly 3 months. You are going to print 3 month bank statement, but the money doesn't have to be in your account for 3 months. So I I finished all my admission process in June, and I was hoping to get my um, visa appointment date in maybe June, July. And I, by some calculation I did, I hope that I will get it in July. So as of June, I was done, but I didn't have any money in my account. Okay, I had like 500,000 naira in my account, and I needed like about 2.5 to 3 million naira. So what I did was in the middle of July, that was when I added the lump sum of amount in my account. And the lump sum, I didn't add it at once. What I did was split the money into smaller batches, and I was funding it daily, weekly. Some weeks I can put 500,000. So, but I started it in July, third week, not first week of July. And I went for my appointment in August 16. So you can see that I had money there for like barely 2 months. So I didn't start. But when I wanted to print my bank statement, I printed it for 3 months. So the money doesn't have to be there for 90 days. But if you are printing 90 days, maybe 95 or 100 days. I don't know if that makes sense and if I answer your question. So for POF, because Czech Republic is not the kind of country where you apply for visa and you know that you are getting a date immediately you apply for it, you don't start POF immediately. If the money is not yours, you don't start. But if the money is yours, oh well and good. You can leave it there. You can be building the account. But if it's not up to, if you have like a million naira, you can leave it there. If you have, I don't know how much in Cameroon CFA. If you have it, leave it there. And 3 weeks to your interview, once you get a date, within that 3 weeks, you can start putting in money bit by bit or in lump sum if you can explain how you got the money to the consular. I think maybe that answers the question. Mm, uh, for me, I would say it's not so wise to put to start POF before you get a visa appointment date. Just like it's not so wise to translate a document before you get a date. But your how do I say it? Your faith, your anyhow you chose to run it, if you want to put the money there before you get an appointment, it's fine. Like I said, if you have the money and the money belongs to you, if you are using an agency, you know you'll be paying money for every month that money is in your account. So imagine you've put money in your account since May or June, and you've not got an appointment, and this is November. So you are paying interest, you are funding somebody's business. But if you have the money for the interest, it's also okay. It's okay. uh So the question I just read now said, which university in CZ does tuition deposits? If I can understand that question, is like which country allows you to resume before paying, or which country allows you to pay before resumption. So if you are applying to CZU, immediately you get admission, before you even get a visa date, you are paying your school fees, and you're not paying per semester. From what I can remember, I think you are paying for the section. Think it until you get there. Some department allow you pay per semester, but most I've seen you are paying the full tuition. If you're applying to Mendel, because 2 3 people, is it Mendel or Metropolitan, either one of them, I think you're also paying the first semester or the old tuition before visa appointment date. If you're applying to Masarek allows you to pay before resumption. I won't say they allow you to pay after visa, but because most cases students who apply to Maseric, you start paying in September. So by then, most students already get their visa decision. So it's like you're paying after you get your visa. So for Maseric, payment starts from like September. Then in October, if you are still in Czech Republic, even if you've not paid by that September, they think the deadline is September 30. You can still pay up till first week of October. So if you started your admission since January, February, imagine that Masari gives you to September. Then there are some schools that it's when you get to Czech Republic, you pay, because you have to sign some letters, some forms, enrollment certificate, contract, and all of that. And that's like from the school where I'm coming from. That's University of Krava. For schools like South Bohemia, their school fees is not much already. So that one you can, I think you have to pay from home or you pay when you get there. Like, I'm not sure, but their courses are like 500 Czech crowns. Some are not up to 1,000 euros. So maybe 500 euros to 1,000 euros. So you can pay there. But for the big schools like Charles University, I think you have to pay. Charles University, you have to pay sometime in September. So Charles University, you don't pay immediately as well. You can pay you They will send you your invoice sometime in September. So you're not paying immediately. I don't know if there's any other question. I'm trying to see. Okay. I don't know if there's any other question, but I don't think so. Okay. I'm so sorry. For the Telegram group, I will drop the link maybe on another post immediately after this video on the community. I'll drop the link there. And I think you can also search on Telegram. It's Study in Czech Republic. That's if the group is open, because I've seen people joining. If not, I'll put the link on the YouTube channel again to share it. Maybe I will do it every week, because someone said the link changes. I'm not so sure, or it expires. So every day this week, I will try to put the link on the community page. So when you go to my YouTube channel, you see community. There you will find the link to join the Telegram group. You can always leave your questions there. You will always get a response. Whenever, most of the time, what I do on the Telegram group also is when there's a new information, I try to put it on the group, like concerning the prices of super legalization, no, what's it called, visa fee, and all of those kind of fee. If there's any development, I try to make sure the Telegram group is updated. And if I'm not online, you can meet other people who would attend to your inquiries. Okay. Which other question? Academic activities. Academic activities depend on your course. It depends on your how many days a week you go to school. There's some students that their course is like 2 days a week. There's some students that it's like currently I have 2 days a week, but it's like 2 days a week packed of activities, and those activities have to be done the remaining 3 days of the week. So I have to be physically present 2 days a week, and I have to be off-site working 3 days a week. So it depends on your faculty. Courses like science courses that are heavy on practicals and heavy on physical presence, attendance. If your course is heavy on attendance, it will be difficult to skip it and work. But what you can do is to take, if your job have like 9 shifts, there are jobs that like the factory, the restaurant, they have 9 shifts. So students do 9 shifts or overnight, like 10 to 10 a.m. No, 10 p.m. till morning. Some work two two in the afternoon to 10 p.m. So it depends on you. The schedule can be heavy. If your schedule is heavy, you have to find a job that allows you work weekend and night shift. If your class is like 2 times a week, and there are students who are doing heavy schedules, and they don't go to school every day. So if you think you can cope without going to classes, then you are fine. You are fine. But it just depends on your capacity to withstand the challenges, and if you can study on your own without going to class. And if you think you want to work than study, or you want to study than work, it depends on you. Okay. I think that's the last question so far. So if that's the last question, I will be okay. I'm seeing someone asking a question. You can send me an email if you want to communicate directly with me. You can send an email. My email address, my social media pages, my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm not so much active because I know a lot of people complain I don't respond there. It's because I'm not so much active on Facebook, but I go there to check. So, but Instagram, Twitter, email. For business, you send your inquiries to the email. For every other question, social media. And if you want my personal number after discussing via email or social media, I can send the WhatsApp number to you. Then we can talk better. So I think that's the way you can reach me. If not, after the video, you go to the about page of the YouTube channel. My details are there. Every of my everything is there. Someone is asking a question. The email is okay. I have a new email, bolaharrison01@gmail.com. I think that's better because the other one is almost full. So bolaharrison01@gmail.com. You can send everything there. That way it's faster. I can see it on time because it's still pretty new. The other one is it's full. I have a lot of emails to respond to. So yeah, Bola Harrison at Gmail, no, 01 at gmail.com. Is it Gmail or Yahoo? Gmail, yeah, Gmail. I'm sorry. Um, okay, I want to end the live. So for those who are not here, they can come back to watch it and it's not so so much. So if you have any inquiries, Telegram, social media, I will try my best to respond. I will try my best. And for the insurance, this is the last one people ask. For the insurance, you are not paying insurance until you get your visa. That's one. Two, there is now a new development. The Earlier we had one insurance company and handling insurance for international people, not just students, both students and workers. And the price is crazy. The price is so expensive. So now the old insurance company has been demonopolized. So they are no longer the only one. There are other insurance companies, but not all embassy have allowed students to be using the other ones. But people are trying to ask. Students have been trying to ask. But if your embassy says you should use the old one, please use it. Don't use any other one because not all, like the Nigerian embassy now, they have not started allowing students to use the other insurance company. It's still the old expensive one. So maybe by the time later this year or early next year, people would be using other ones that are not so expensive because the PV, PVZP or PVPZ or something is very expensive. I mean, very expensive. So, um, the next question, apart from apart from Czech Republic, oh my God, my phone. Apart from Czech Republic, there are other countries in Europe. It's just like Yoruba would say, "Obetodun owolopa." I don't advise students to go to Poland. Not that Poland is not a good country. It's because depending on the African country where you're coming from, Polish embassies are now raving crazy. Now, Portugal, depending again on the African country where you're located. So if you can find the embassy of the country where you want to go in the place where you're located, it's easy to work with you for those countries. Like Finland, Netherlands, Belgium, Estonia. Estonia don't have embassy in Nigeria, so you won't see me telling students to really, really go to Estonia, even though it's a good place, because the embassy is in Egypt and in Dubai. So unless you have the money to go to the UK, go to Egypt or go to Dubai to apply for Estonian visa, then I can advise that. There's Lithuania, there is Hungary, but like I said, Schengen countries they are becoming stricter. Like even these smaller countries, like Lithuania is not so big. um Hungary is not so big. It's not like the economy is so all that, but they are becoming stricter, especially in African countries. So if you can find the embassy of the country where you want to go in your location, it's easier to work with you for those countries. But if you can't, and that's why the Czech Republic road, people seem to like go there because it's cheaper. It's cheaper, and that's one reason why I also opted for it. It's cheaper, you can do it yourself, someone can assist you to do it. But for countries like Estonia, I can work with you, but it's if you can go to the UK to go an appointment or go to Egypt, which is like extra money. So you see, so there are other countries. There are other countries. Luxembourg is another place. If you have the money for proof of fund, Luxembourg, their admission is almost free. Luxembourg is like 400 euros. Is it even up to 400? 200 euros per semester, but it's if you can afford the proof of fund. So that's just it. I think we have just 11 more minutes and we can go. So you have Luxembourg, you have Netherlands, you have Finland, though you have to write IELTS if you are considering Finland. You have where again? Denmark. Denmark is very expensive. Sweden is also expensive, depend on your pocket. So the other countries you can go to. You can try Lithuania, Hungary, but those countries are like well, I don't know. I still think Czech Republic is better than some of those other countries in terms of their processing. So in the next less than 10 minutes, I have to go. Any question, or in the absence of any question, we can call it a day. So I think I've said everything I want to say. For those who are still waiting for visa, for visa decision, write to your coordinators. School has resumed. Some of them are on break, but write to your coordinators. Ask them if the embassy has gotten in touch with them for verification. And if you are writing to them, for the ones who don't speak very clear English, try to break the email. Try to ask in very simple terms. And if you can afford to call, place a call through. It's faster. Because I did that on a number of occasions. Think about twice. It's faster. It gets your inquiry pushed further. And whenever you go for your visa appointment, for those who have not gone, try to make friends with how do I call it? The person in charge before the consular. Before you get to talk to the consular, before you get to do your written interview, try to make friends. So I know why I'm saying that, but I can't say it here, but try to make friends with them. So when you need anything in a way, you can ask them, contact them, and all of that. So I think that's all I can say at the moment. Slovakia. I don't know much about Slovakia because I don't know about their admission process. I know students are studying in Slovakia, Slovenia, and Latvia. Latvia, I've met 2 students there from Czech Republic who are studying there. But from the review I got, I don't know how well you can study and work in Latvia and pay your fees conveniently. I don't know how well you can do that. But Latvia is good. Slovakia is good, but I don't know how well you can study and pay the school fees or survive there. So that's what I'm not sure of. But yeah, you can check. You can check. Currently, students were checking Croatia when they joined the European Union, but because nobody have been able to no, I won't say nobody. I have not seen people successfully go through the process. So I'm yet to push for that because I'm still trying to see people successfully move to Croatia to study now that they are using Euro and now that they've joined the European Union. So you want to do your research properly. Like Czech Republic is not the only country. The money that we get to Czech Republic right now can get you to another country. You just have to check, especially the Eastern countries, the Eastern European countries. So I think that's everything. Um, if we think this is going to be a thing, I can set aside time, 30 minutes, 45 minutes every month to do a live video to for people to ask their questions. I think that's everything. So I'll see you in my next video. See you next time. Okay, I think that's all. That's all. I'll see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Sunday again. Bye bye.